I go through 4 phases in a whole month. And I'm going to describe exactly how I feel during each phase because it's every week of every month. So let's start with the menstrual phase. This is where I bleed. Okay, this is the clarity. This is the relief. I'm thanking God I'm not pregnant, thanking the Lord that my body works. But I'm dying, like I'm bleeding. So I personally don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to change my clothes. Usually I'm just sitting on my couch, cuddled up with a heating pad, eating some junk food, and watching movies. That's exactly how I feel. Now, on the other side of the clarity, my brain is rewiring itself while I am on this phase because I'm more introspective. I'm in my feminine and I'm actually solving problems that I might have in my brain, like these overthinking things that I have. So, I don't mind the phase too much because I've solved a lot of my internal problems on this phase, the menstrual phase, but my body be dying. So that leads me to the next phase, when my period is over, thank the Lords, then it's the follicular phase. So all of the introspect that I had, all the reflections, all the inspo, the thoughts I was having, is now being put into creativity. You know, I might go right back into the gym. I might start journaling again. I feel more energetic and able to do things because of the follicular phase. The follicular phase is the second week of the month. It doesn't matter what day it is. Most people don't start their periods on the first. Let's be for real, okay? But my second phase is honestly my favorite phase because all the introspect that I did, I am now implementing it into my life, and it's just this huge transition from being so vulnerable and in this little ball of pain into this empowered, beautiful, resilient woman that overcame it. That's my favorite phase. The follicular phase, that's the phase where I feel like I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm making the best content. I'm having ideas all over the place. I am putting myself in more uncomfortable situations because I'm feeling more resilient. I'm more in tune with myself. So that one's my favorite phase because it's a little bit attached still to the menstrual phase, which is a very vulnerable phase. But I like that they transition so beautifully. Like you feel so clear headed. Oh my gosh, the clarity you feel. It's on to the next phase. This is the phase that most men enjoy and like, which is the ovulation phase. This is the phase where I'm feeling more confident. I feel more confident. All of the things that I'm implementing from the first 2 phases, like going back to the gym, journaling again, and solving all my internal problems, boom, I am a new woman. I am a whole new woman. I am really firing on all cylinders. I'm being more sociable. I'm just more optimistic. I'm spreading love. I'm spreading light. I am just always smiling, right? And this is where, I do like this phase a lot, but it's also where you feel more connected sexually to yourself as a woman. You feel a little more inclined to look at yourself in a more appealing way or looking at a man like, you know? The ovulation is when your egg is vulnerable and susceptible to having a baby. This is natural, okay? And if we are not acting on this as women, like if we're not trying to have a baby, which, most young women don't really intend to have a baby, we feel just more sexy. We feel ourselves. We feel like we are in our feminine in a different way. Not in a vulnerable way, but in a empowering way. Everything that we implemented from feeling good and all the reflections, like I personally feel more sexy. Feel more sexy on my ovulation. And the emotional attachment that I have with myself really shows during ovulation, because I think personally, this is personal, okay? I think when I was younger, I didn't understand exactly all my phases. And when it hit ovulation, I wasn't always confident. I was kind of on the more insecure side because I didn't understand myself and what I looked like, my sexuality. Like, I just felt like a shell. But as you get older, as you get older, and even now, I can't even speak for my full adulthood yet. I still got changes to go through. I still have to go through experiences. But now that I'm in my young adulthood, now I can say that I'm fully confident in my ovulation phase. Like, usually I can tell someone, like, no, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, so what? Like, you feel like you are empowered. Not that you're against people, but you just have this full blown confidence. Like, you will put your perspective out there. And I know a lot of my videos come off like, yeah, and so this is what I mean. That's ovulation. So most women, I mean, I'm not going to speak for everybody. This is just me. Personally, I feel like sexy and confident ovulation phase. Most men like that phase because I'm more nicer during that phase. I mean, I'm nice to men, but I'm also just like, huh? Sassy? The next phase is the luteal phase. So this one, I don't think anyone likes this phase. I think this one is the villain era of all phases because it's coming from ovulation, which was a very, very high, like it was a peak of the month, for me at least. My ovulation was part of the peak, and then luteal, I can't even say it right. Luteal is when it declines. I feel more irritable. I'm just like, yo, what is life? What is this? You start disagreeing with the things that you were doing. Luteal phase is basically a week of contradiction in my personal experience, because it's just the last week. Like, you're done, you're put up, like all the energy you had for the whole month is over. I feel more calm, like overall, like I don't feel like I'm all over the place, like having ideas and creativity sprouting from me, but I definitely feel irritable. I feel like everything that I did this whole month, I'm like, wow, what the heck? Why did I even do that? I contradict my own actions in my luteal phase. I also feel more sensitive. I feel more sensitive toward how other people are feeling toward me, and also just toward myself. Like, my body changes. My body changes, so how I feel is going to change about myself. And this last phase, people also like to call it PMS. Well, the late stage, because there's early stages and late stages of a phase and a period. The late stage of the luteal is PMS. It is when I feel like my villain era. I am in my villain era. I am like, no, mean. I am mean to meow meows. I am mean to anyone I'm talking to, and I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to put my foot down, put my opinion down, and I don't care. Yeah, and what are you going to do about it? That's luteal phase. There's a calmness to it. There's a calmness to it. But I also think It's a little more erratic or sporadic, I guess. Like, I'm more sporadic during the luteal phase. I am way more calm when I'm in my menstrual cycle, when I'm finally bleeding. It's like my body is building up. My body is building up in the luteal phase, and I hate it. Hate it. It's a buildup of like anger, yeah, just a disbelief in myself, a disbelief in what I even want to do with myself. Like, ugh. There's 4 phases that I go through every single month of every waking day, and every woman does too. Every healthy woman goes through 4 phases every month, and it's so confusing. Even making this video right now was a piece of work. It was like my brain is all over the place. I'm fried. Can you guess which phase I'm on? Can you guess? Take a guess. Seriously. This is womanhood. This is femininity. This is vulnerability. I know I am not always right in all my videos. Actually, you know what? I don't even think I'm ever right. I never say I'm right unless it is an actual scientific fact that I'm showing you. So ignorance is bliss, right? You know, what you don't know, it doesn't matter, right? What you don't know, you don't care about it. You don't care about what you don't know. So this is basically a video to prove that I know I contradict myself. I know I say one thing and then I say another. I say another thing, but that's me being a woman. That's me being vulnerable and not trying to be someone I'm not. I don't ever try to project truth into my videos. All I do is project opinion and feelings. Actually, not even opinion. All I do is talk about how I feel. This is like a diary, guys. Like, come on. This is my diary, and I can say what I want. So, this is for anyone who is wondering how a woman works, how a woman thinks during every week of her cycle. Like, this is the sauce right here. You know, I am different every single week. I might have a goal to reach, but it gets harder and harder to reach this goal the more I change into these phases. Like, it's exhausting. And I thought I would put it out there because I know other women might feel the same way, and then men might find it very useful, you know, useful information that can help explain why a woman is the way she is. Why I might say the things that I say. Because let's be for real, all, my YouTube channel is just me talking about how I feel all the dang time. So I thought I would put that into perspective and yeah, just express my vulnerability a little more. Express that I know I'm not right. I know that, you know, some things I say people don't agree with, and that's okay. That is part of life, and I'm just grooving with it, just like you. Yeah. Thanks, and I'll see you later.